You are listening to The Heritage Pod, presented to you by the Heritage Group of Institutions.
You will be listening to the Knowledge Series with Professor Subhrajeet Ganguly, Assistant Professor, Department of Media Science.
Hello, this is Subhrajeet Ganguly, welcoming you all to another episode of the Knowledge Series podcast. Today we are having with us Miss Roopsha Dasgupta, who is an entrepreneur and a radio jockey. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Please tell us something about RJ as a career in this digital age.
To really give you an insight into the truth of the story, if you get into radio as a medium, it will only enhance your communication skills. Because at the end of the day, it's the words, the sentences, which you either speak or you write. That is going to make or break you. So to make yourself a good communicator, please understand, radio is a beautiful medium. And a successful RJ will always have the space to express, create, ideate, is the one with the skill set of being a good communicator.
Well, that's really interesting. After listening to this, I'm more curious about understanding the grammar of radio. I'm sure there is something, and our listeners are also very curious, I'm sure. So please tell us something regarding the grammar of radio in the 21st century.
Radio is actually the theatre of mind. What we hear is the image that comes to the mind. When we hear the song, we can imagine the dance. When we hear a radio jockey, yes, that's what RJ stands for. We imagine the color of their clothes. We imagine the smile on their face. We imagine the beauty of the studio. There was a long time in life where radio jockeys or radio announcers, as they were called much earlier, would not be allowed to meet the audience. Because the imagination versus reality debate might or might not be too good for the radio announcer. But when private FM in India happened, that was 2003, RJ became the star. The radio jockey era began. In its full glory, it started its journey. But with time, what happened is radio and digital just got married to each other in a very interesting way. Websites were made. RJs were given the task of writing blogs, chatting with their fans on digital, and trust me, that was the time when RJ had that calendar of sitting on a website using the company platform just to stay in touch with their fans over the internet. That's the time when post boxes of radio stations started getting changed to email IDs. Mind you, this was even way before followers, likes, and supporters became a big part of fandom. So listeners were not just hearing their favorite radio jockey or RJ, but they were getting to follow them, stay in touch with them on a regular, minute-to-minute basis.
Okay, so that is why we see RJs are now much more active on social media platforms. So tell us something about the additional skill sets which are required in order to become a successful RJ in this digital era.
RJs becoming the face of brands, leading big campaigns, making marks wherever they are. As a professional, if you're able to hone your skills during your work period in a good radio station, please take it as a learning school. Realize the value of the space. Radio is the theatre of the mind. If you're able to paint beautiful pictures only with your words and music, when audio and visual is given to you, that's exactly what digital has added to the beautiful garden of radio. A good radio jockey will always rule the minds and heart, will always rule the world.
Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you.
That was Miss Roopsha Dasgupta, an entrepreneur and a radio jockey, speaking on RJ as a career in this digital age. For more content, keep listening to the Heritage Pod. This is Subhrajeet signing off.
Presented to you by the Heritage Group of Institutions.